We hear a lot about cybersecurity today, and every once in a while, actual cyber attacks. But some of these attacks are a lot more serious than just some salty kid hitting your Xbox offline for a few hours. Or in my case, sending a SWAT team to your house. What's up guys, my name is Bernsey, and these are the top 10 biggest hacks no one ever saw coming. Let's get started. We are running a $200 Amazon gift card giveaway the entire month. All you have to do to enter is like this video, be subscribed, turn on your notifications, and comment why you want to win with your Twitter handle attached. I will announce the winner at the end of the month on Twitter. Number 10. Credit card fraud. Albert Gonzalez has gone down in hacker history as the culprit of one of the biggest fraud cases in the history of the United States. Located out of Miami, Gonzalez created a program in 2009 that he was able to latch onto the payment card network from over 250 different chain locations and convenience stores, and even managed to get into 7-Eleven's network. This led to him stealing tens of millions of credit and debit cards. Gonzalez was caught and found guilty not too long afterwards, and is now serving a prison sentence of 20 years. Purchasing identity theft protection might seem like the most annoying expense ever, and you might think, this could never happen to me. But when you have criminal geniuses like Gonzalez stealing tens of millions of credit cards, the chances of it happening to you go up quite a bit. Having your identity stolen is one of the most difficult things to correct. You will spend countless hours on the phone with every major credit agency you can think of, and you will be taking many trips to your bank to correct the damage that has been done. Protect yourself. Number 9. The Ashley Madison hack. If you're familiar with dating apps and adult dating sites like Tinder, Bumble, Match.com, you also might be familiar with Ashley Madison. But in case you don't, Ashley Madison is basically a hookup website where you register and then you just meet up to bang each other. But it is not just any ordinary hookup site. It is a place where married people can seek out affairs. In July of 2015, a group of hackers called the Impact Team managed to breach Ashley Madison's security, steal all of the user data, and post it online. This wasn't just people's names and pictures though, it was everything. All information posted to the site was public, including credit card numbers, home addresses, you name it. Not only was this an insane privacy breach, but it also made for some very awkward stories of married men and women having their Ashley Madison accounts made public. Even celebrities were on there, like Josh Duggar. Josh Duggar may be the most hilarious hypocrite on the Ashley Madison list. Because Josh Duggar is a conservative reality TV star and the executive director of the Family Research Council, which is a conservative lobbying group in DC which seeks to, quote, to champion marriage and family as the foundation of civilization, the seedbed of virtue, and the wellspring of society. But why were you cheating on your wife? Number 8. Mafia Boy. At the time of this massive attack, the culprit, Michael Kels, aka Mafia Boy, was only 15 years old. Now I don't know about you, but when I was 15, all I was doing was riding my bike around the neighborhood, playing some basketball at the park, and maybe an occasional trip to the mall. This Canadian high schooler decided to test his knowledge by attacking CNN, eBay, Amazon, and Yahoo, hitting all of them with a DDoS attack, resulting in $1.2 billion in damages. Luckily for him, he was only a minor and could not fully be prosecuted. The moral of the story here is, if you're young enough and smart enough, you can cause billions of dollars of damages to major corporations in the United States and suffer no severe consequences. He was sentenced to 8 months in open custody and had his online access restricted. So basically, he got grounded. Can you imagine if you did $1.2 billion of damages to multiple high-profile companies and the only consequence was you got grounded for a few months? Number 7. NASA and the US Department of Defense. Speaking of 15-year-olds who are way smarter than us, next up we have another one. Jonathan James was only 15 years old when he conducted this attack in 1999. He was able to get through the security of the Department of Defense and install his own personal backdoor on its servers, causing every bit of information that was sent and received to be copied over to him as well. This led to James intercepting thousands of emails, passwords, and confidential government information. But James didn't stop there. He was able to use some of this stolen information to get his hands on NASA software and shut them down for 3 weeks. So not only did he steal countless amounts of government information, he also shut down NASA in its entirety for 3 whole weeks. When I was his age, I felt smart when I got an A in an exam. This kid was shutting down NASA. I don't feel so smart anymore. Number 6. The Porsche. This one is actually pretty genius. The Los Angeles radio station KISS FM was doing a massive contest in which listeners could call in to enter, and caller number 102 would win a Porsche 944 S2, which was valued at $24,000. LA resident Kevin Polson really wanted that car, and who can blame him? And he also wanted to make sure that no one else stood a chance. He managed to take control of the radio station's phone network and blocked all incoming calls except his, guaranteeing him victory. He did win the car, but he was also sent to jail for 5 years once it was discovered that he was the one behind the phone network going down. Believe it or not, Polson later became the senior editor for Wired News. So next time your local radio station is doing a contest for a must-have, hard-to-get prize and you're willing to do 5 years in prison, well, just shut down their phone networks and you're good to go. Number 5. Google China. In 2009, Google's Chinese headquarters were hit with a massive attack that was actually later traced back to the Chinese government. A group of hackers had managed to break through Google's security and obtain the Gmail accounts of Chinese human rights activists. The Chinese government was blamed for these attacks as they have a history of disregarding human rights and the internet itself. The next year, Google decided to relocate its Chinese servers to Hong Kong. Number 4. Yahoo, a site that still exists but nobody uses unless you're over the age of 60 or you're playing fantasy football. In September of 2016, an unknown force was able to infiltrate Yahoo's security, leading to over 500 million users. 500 million users? Who still uses this site? But these 500 million users' accounts were compromised. Names, home addresses, email addresses, phone numbers, and more were all stolen in an instant, leading to Yahoo issuing a statement that they had believed it was a state-sponsored actor, and that the hack actually occurred in 2014. So not only did they try to blame the government for their security breach, but they also claimed that the compromise of over 500 million people's accounts actually happened 2 years ago, and they just didn't say anything about it till now? Yahoo, just go away. Number 3. Yahoo Part 2. Yahoo didn't exactly have a good year in 2016 as they fell victim to 2 massive attacks, the second of which took place in December by an unknown hacker. All that's known is over 1 billion accounts were compromised. 1 billion! I'm starting to think people just use Yahoo email accounts as just a throwaway account for websites they're signing up for, or something of the sort. 1 billion? How are there 1 billion people on Yahoo? Anyways, the accounts compromised included names, emails, passwords, phone numbers, and home addresses. If you ever wonder why Yahoo is kind of losing its relevance, well, look no further than their lack of cybersecurity. Number 2. The PlayStation Network attack. I'm sure if you're a gamer, you remember this one. Back in 2011, Sony fell victim to one of the biggest cyber attacks in history. The PlayStation Network, for those of you who don't know, is an online gaming service for Sony's PlayStation consoles. The attack itself happened between April 17th and 19th of 2011, leading to over 77 million accounts being compromised and forcing Sony to shut down the PlayStation Network for 23 days. Personally, I game on the Xbox, and when the Xbox Live is down for more than an hour, that pisses me off. I don't know what I would do if it was down for over 3 weeks. The PlayStation Network spent these 23 days to fix their servers and update their security. What pissed a lot of people off, even more than their information being stolen, was the fact that Sony decided not to tell their user base about the attack until a full week after they knew about it. The attack was so massive and Sony's behavior was so unprofessional that it actually led to the US House of Representatives to speak out and shame Sony for not taking their customers' privacy seriously. And the number 1 biggest hack that no one saw coming, the Morris worm. Perhaps the first real cyber attack ever, this one definitely wasn't seen coming. At the time this one happened, it was only 1988 and the internet wasn't a mainstream thing yet. Robert Tappan Morris was a student at Cornell University and created the first computer worm the world has ever seen. According to him, the worm was not intended to harm anything, but was simply a test to see how deep the internet could go. Unfortunately, the worm encountered some unexpected errors, causing it to become the first computer virus, infecting over 6,000 computers and resulting in the first DDoS attack ever. Sure, this whole thing was an accident, but it's still considered the first cyber attack in the history of the internet, and no one saw it coming. That concludes our list for the top 10 biggest hacks no one saw coming. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you learned something today. If you'd like to see more videos, there's a playlist down below for your viewing pleasure. Also, never miss a new episode by turning on your notifications. If you have a top 10 idea that you'd like to see featured, click the link below and submit your ideas for future videos. Once again, my name is Bernsey. Thanks for stopping by. Have yourself a beautiful day. I'll see you next time.